How can we transform the vacant office spaces that dot our urban landscapes into vibrant multifamily residences? Welcome to the Commercial Real Estate Insights Podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hamoen. Let's get right to it. Governor Ned Lamont of Connecticut recently signed into law a bill aimed at making it easier for developers to convert vacant office buildings into apartments. This new legislation is intended to encourage the transformation of underutilized commercial properties into much-needed residential spaces, especially in areas where zoning rules are amended to support such conversions. However, there is a catch. Municipalities that choose to adopt this law must wait 3 years before they can collect additional tax revenue from these newly revitalized properties. The bill, which previously stalled in the Connecticut House of Representatives, finally passed after amendments were made to address concerns from municipal leaders. Initially, there was apprehension that the law would allow developers to convert spaces as of right without sufficient oversight. The revised version now includes a summary review process, where local zoning commissions have up to 65 days to make decisions on conversion projects, with the option for developers to request an additional 65-day extension. It is important to note that this incentive only applies to the conversion of offices, hotels, and retail spaces. Industrial properties are not included under this bill. Developers must also certify that the occupancy rates in these properties have averaged less than 50% over a 12-month period to qualify for the incentive. While the law aims to streamline the conversion process, it has not been without its critics. Sam Gold, Executive Director of the Lower Connecticut River Valley Council of Governments, expressed concerns over the law's complexity and potential for unintended consequences. He advised municipalities to proceed cautiously when considering these changes. Governor Lamont's approval of this bill comes shortly after his veto of a broader housing bill, which aimed to promote residential development across the state. Efforts are ongoing to reconcile differences and advance housing initiatives that balance state and local interests. In a recent development, the city of Shelton has made a strategic move by purchasing a 50 to 60-foot right-of-way along Bridgeport Avenue. This state-owned land, which spans 2.54 acres at the intersection of Bridgeport Avenue and Long Hill Cross Road, was acquired for $221,000. The city plans to sell the land in the coming weeks, with the Board of Aldermen approving the purchase on July 10th. This acquisition positions the city to have greater oversight and control over the adjacent development site, owned by Jim Body of Crown Point Associates, where a hotel, restaurants, and retail spaces are planned. Despite having received initial approvals for his development proposal, Jim Body faced a cease and desist order due to unauthorized work on the site. City officials noted that work, including clear-cutting and grading, was conducted without the necessary permits. Although Body believed he had an agreement with the state to purchase the land, the city exercised its right of first refusal, a legal provision that allows them to prioritize their purchase over other potential buyers. Mayor Mark Loretti emphasized that this purchase would enable the city to ensure that all developments on the site proceed with proper oversight and compliance with local regulations. The mayor assured the Board of Aldermen that a sale of the property would be forthcoming, allowing for further development while maintaining city control over the process. Jim Body, who has developed numerous projects along Bridgeport Avenue, including the neighboring Crown Point Center, has expressed his belief that the transaction with the state was completed. However, the State Department of Transportation confirmed that while an agreement with Body was in place, the city had the preemptive right to purchase the land. Body also stated that the city must grant him access to Bridgeport Avenue for his proposed development, which includes 3 access drives. The planned development features a Woodspring Suites hotel with 123 rooms, along with a Texas Roadhouse and a Dairy Queen, complete with a drive-through. The project also includes plans for 640 parking spaces. Body's previous developments have contributed significantly to the area's commercial landscape, and his current project aims to enhance the retail and hospitality offerings in Shelton. Retail vacancies in Los Angeles have reached a historic peak, as reported by Isabel Sammy from LA Business First. This trend reflects the broader challenges faced by the retail sector in the city, where high vacancy rates persist despite various developments and projects underway. The situation is part of a complex landscape where economic factors and consumer preferences are influencing the viability of retail spaces. In an interesting twist, the high vacancy rates have not completely stalled deal activity within the retail sector. Some developers and investors are finding opportunities amidst the vacancies, suggesting a more nuanced scenario than the surface numbers might indicate. This dynamic highlights the adaptability and resilience within the commercial real estate market, even when facing significant challenges. The article also notes related developments, such as the progress of a mixed-use project on the Sunset Strip, which had previously faced foreclosure issues. This project moving forward is a testament to the ongoing efforts to revitalize and repurpose commercial spaces in Los Angeles, even in the face of financial hurdles. Additionally, Isabel Sammy reports on the impact of economic pressures on businesses, such as the 59 Rite Aid stores in Los Angeles, that have hit the market amid a second Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This situation underscores the ongoing economic challenges and restructuring efforts within the retail sector as companies seek to navigate financial difficulties. These developments in Los Angeles offer a perspective that could be relevant to Canadian cities like Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, and London, Ontario. While these Canadian cities may not be experiencing the same scale of retail vacancies, the trends in Los Angeles provide insights into how economic pressures and market dynamics can affect retail spaces. Developers and investors in Ontario can learn from these scenarios, identifying potential opportunities for adaptive reuse and innovative leasing strategies. Danny Ecker from Crane's Chicago Business reports that suburban office vacancies in Chicago have reached another record high. This trend is largely attributed to companies downsizing their office spaces as they adapt to post-pandemic work patterns. However, the impact is not uniform across the board. Landlords who own the most modern and well-maintained properties are experiencing fewer challenges in retaining tenants. The ongoing shift in work culture, where remote and hybrid models are increasingly favored, is prompting businesses to reevaluate their space requirements. As a result, many older and less appealing office buildings are struggling to attract and retain tenants. This situation presents a unique opportunity for developers and investors who are able to reposition these properties to meet current market demands. In the Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge, and London areas of Ontario, similar trends are observed, though not quite as severe as in Chicago. The demand for suburban office space remains stable, with some companies still opting for physical office locations to foster collaboration and innovation. However, there is a noticeable shift towards more flexible leasing arrangements and a preference for modern, amenity-rich buildings. The cross-border relevance of these trends highlights the importance for investors and developers in both regions to focus on upgrading and modernizing office spaces to remain competitive. By aligning with the evolving needs of businesses, such as incorporating technology-friendly environments and sustainable practices, these properties can maintain their appeal and functionality in a rapidly changing market. In a significant development for the Texas industrial real estate market, a Houston-based developer is making notable strides into the Austin region. Lovett Industrial has announced plans for a substantial project that will introduce 1.5 million square feet of industrial space across 9 buildings along Texas State Highway 130 in Austin. This project, aptly named Fusion 130, is strategically positioned just 2 miles north of the expansive Tesla Incorporated factory, which spans 10 million square feet and opened its doors in 2022. Although Lovett Industrial has not yet filed official plans for this ambitious project with the state, Nathan Benjaminov, the company's market leader for Central and South Texas, has indicated that groundbreaking is anticipated to begin later this year. Fusion 130 is a collaborative effort between Lovett Industrial and Clarion Partners, a New York-based real estate investment firm that operates both in the United States and Europe. Lovett Industrial's expansion into the Austin area is not an isolated venture. The company is also gearing up for a 43-acre logistics center in Schertz, Texas, with an estimated investment of $30 million. This development will feature 608,000 square feet of space distributed across 4 buildings, with construction slated to commence in October and completion expected by December 2026. These projects mark Lovett's inaugural foray into the Central Texas market. Lovett Industrial, which was established in February 2020, has predominantly focused on logistics and industrial parks. The company has a strong presence in the Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston areas, boasting over 13 million square feet of space that has been completed, is under construction, or has been acquired. These new projects in Austin and Schertz underscore Lovett's commitment to expanding its footprint in the Texas industrial real estate sector. The developments in Texas provide a compelling comparison for markets in Ontario, Canada, such as Kitchener-Waterloo, London, and Cambridge, where industrial space is also in demand. As companies like Lovett Industrial seek strategic locations near major industrial and technological hubs, similar opportunities may arise north of the border, prompting investors and developers to explore potential synergies and expansion strategies. Thank you for listening to the Commercial Real Estate Insights podcast. I'm your host, Steve Hamoen. See you on the next one.